Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid and Bizou. Hello. Yes. We're here to do the Astro Oracle reading for this week, and we are in the first week of November, and let's get going with Aries. Before we get to the reading, I just want to mention that my amazing course, Oracle Cards 101, the ultimate course to confidently read Oracle cards in just 5 minutes a day over 30 days, is now available in my store. It's super exciting, and there's gifts that you get when you buy the course. You get a free copy of my Wisdom of the Oracle card deck. The card deck's awesome. You get a library of original meditations made specifically for this course. And besides the course, you get 6 hours of extra pre-recorded training videos with me. There's a link somewhere here, so you just click on that link and I'll see you in the course. Now let's get going to the reading. Now remember, you get 9 cards out of this. You're going to get 3 cards per zodiac sign, but you will have a sun sign, a rising sign, or an ascendant, and a moon. So you're going to get 9 cards. Now, what if you were a triple Scorpio, for example? You'd only read for Scorpio. Yes, you want to go? No, you want to stay here and say hi to everybody. Okay, let's go for Aries first. And so Aries, oh, you have obstacles this week, Aries. That's your number 1 card, but let's see what flanks this. Rising above the fray for you, Aries, and recognizing that there's a whole lot going on. So you might be juggling a lot this week, Aries. The Aries personality tends to be pretty good with being able to start things and have lots on their plate, but this time you might be a little bit overwhelmed. So remember that you're going to want to get into a much more neutral observation, like the wall, looking down at everything and realizing I can sort this out. So don't forget it, just step back, don't take things personally, and just realize that whatever obstacle that might come up for you this week, Aries, it's actually good because it's enabling you to sort through things that you might have too much of, okay? Now let's take a look at Taurus. Taurus. Okay. So Taurus, this is a week for you to get very adaptable, right? So your best superpower is curiosity. And you've got the Drifter card. So you have the Stranger card, the Drifter card, and Woodwives. Curiosity, experiencing life as it comes, and adaptability. So it's kind of smooth sailing for you this week, Taurus, as long as you stay curious and you don't impose what you think should be happening on whatever is in front of you, right? So this is about going into the uncharted territory and say, okay, I'm just gonna see and be curious to see, what is arising for me here, as opposed to, this is how it has to be, because then you'll be fighting against the current. Adaptability is also a good skill for you this week as well. So whatever comes up for you, this is a good time for you to just bend a little, be flexible, and realize that this will be the best course of action for this week. Now let's take a look at Gemini. Gemini, the farther gate, wailing tree, and reconciliations, and the netcaster. So for Gemini, the farther gate is the center card, right? So the farther gate is about your bold step forward. And I love what's on the other side. One is preparations that come to fruition. So in other words, your bold step forward has a really good basis in, I've prepared for this, I can take action. And it's also really good because it enables you to make up for a mistake in the past, or that maybe you took a detour and it didn't work out for you, or you might have, been trying something and it's not as successful as you want it to be. Doesn't matter. It enables you right now to say, okay, this is a week I'm going to step forward and I'm going to realize that, this prep work that I've done here is paying off different than what I thought, but it's good. Okay, and that's for Gemini. Now let's take a look at Cancers. Okay, the perfect storm, overflow, and that's interesting. So Mark, both of us have 2 cards the same. Okay, so for Cancerians, the courage to step into life, the perfect storm. If you see the way the raven has it, the storm is at the heart. All the lightning comes out of the raven directly, right? So there's this idea that I am dreaming something awesome, and that means changes are coming. So this is a good thing. I'm not gonna get overwhelmed because there's lots going on, and I have to remember not to take, to step back And time manage. This can also be about time management, where the eagle rises above the fray and and just soars above things and isn't getting involved in any drama. So this is really about, okay, I'm making some changes now. Let's just go with the flow. Recognize that I could get a little overwhelmed, and I realize that there's so many good things happening right now. Step back and don't get too attached to anything either. Just remember, you're not going to get too overwhelmed as long as you just manage your time and step into each thing independent of the others. There you go. Okay, now let's talk for Leos. This is for you, Bisou. And so for the Leo personality, this is what we are seeing. Okay, it's Eye of the Storm, Fool's Embrace, and Crown Game. So this is a really interesting reading for the Leo personality. So transmuting pain is what's happening here. So you're actually looking at what used to trigger you in the past isn't anymore. That's pretty awesome. So we're seeing that you've changed. So really, how far have you come? That's the question for the Leo personality. And the right use of power around this as well, too, is you realize that, you can be a whole lot more detached and you're not blaming anybody for anything. So this is, again, the opportunity for you to step back and go, wow, this is not triggering me. This situation here, I'm good. I feel good. And I realize that I can still be generous. And I don't have to manipulate anything to be safe or to be secure or to get what I want. That's for the Leo personality. You can just be who you are and realize that, you've come a long way. And that's really important to know. Now let's take a look at Virgo. I like this. They're slidey, these cards. Okay, so let's take a look at Virgo. So Virgo, a refusal of the call, movement toward adventure, and covenant. So the Dream Thief is an interesting card because for the Virgo personality, here you're about to embark on something new, and you said you wanted to, and now you don't want to. And you're like, I want to, I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to. But it says you're on the adventure anyway, so it's kind of like, I gotta do it. And I promised myself, that's the other one, sacred contract. I've made the commitment to do something new. So for Virgos that are on the precipice of something new, just do it. Because really, when the Dream Thief comes up, it creates a problem inside you because all that resistance isn't helping anyway. And just say, I don't know, this is an adventure. I think I'll just be curious and see. I did promise, I did make that sacred contract to evolve. And it's all about the evolution of the Virgo personality here. Cool, I know who that applies to. Okay, now let's take a look at Libra. Now, Libra, you have the Herald of Change, Horseman, Whale Song, which is resonating, and spiritual narcolepsy, which is like, don't fall asleep at the wheel and don't be too mad at yourself if you do. So what's beautiful about this is that we know for Libras, you are absolutely getting a sign that something is changing. And it's in your benefit because you're resonating with it, a whale song. But sometimes when something new is being offered, then there could be a sense of like, oh, it's too good to be true. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop or the closet. And it's okay to like, you don't have to get in there and make anything happen. This is just good. In general, it's good. So the spiritual narcolepsy happens when, we're feeling really good and we're like, oh, wow, this is so cool. And oh my God, something bad's going to happen as a result of it or something, right? You get into that or you start trying to control the outcome, which isn't ready anyway. But just know you are in a moment of change for yourself that is in your highest good and you don't have to mess with it. And if you do fall asleep at the wheel, which we all do at least once a day, that's what spiritual narcolepsy is. We forget that we have a partner with spirit. We think we're doing it all by ourselves. And the fear comes, but it's okay. Now let's take a look at Scorpio. Scorpio also got the Horseman. And we have the Dust Devil. So this is Scorpio season. This is a great month for all Scorpios. We also have the horsemen starting the change with you. And this is your season, Scorpio personalities. This is your season. It's November. And we're entering into it knowing this is like in alignment with who you are. The transpersonal is what's called for. So as you make decisions, you realize that you're doing these from a greater perspective. The higher self is active this month. And you move out of stagnation. The dust devil is there as well. So these two cards are talking about the change. What is changing? You're moving out of stagnation. You're starting to feel really good about your life. And you're realizing that you're here to serve others. You're not here to serve you. Even though your life experience is personal to you and your talents are personal to you, you have an impact on others. And that's what's going to come up for you this week is how are you impacting other people? Okay. Now let's take Sagittarius. Right, Bizou? Are you sleeping again? Aha. She barks in the house if we don't bring her over here. The other two are fine. They don't care. Okay. Sagittarius, here we go. First breath, beginner's mind. A joyful muse is inspiration and surrendering to the beginner's mind in order for inspiration to actually happen. Yay. Sages are having a fabulous week. Why? Because there's a lot of inspiration and a lot of things that you have to say, I don't know. I wonder. Geez, let's see. Those are the kind of things that should be coming out of your mouth this week, Sagittarius, and surrendering to whatever it is that you find without judging it, saying, this is this. Oh, how interesting is this? You surrender to what is, as opposed to trying to change it. Really inspired week for most Sagittarians. Again, stay in beginner's mind. If you think you know, you'll throw yourself a little bit off track. All righty, now let's take a look at Capricorn. So for the Capricorn personality, a tidy house, clarity and organization out of overwhelm and plenty, and you're really inspired to do it. So this is kind of like you are looking at having fun decluttering your life this week. It is a week you have to get out of your overwhelm, and the only way to do that is through inspired decluttering. Whether that be you have too many ideas in your head, just pick one, or you actually have created a bit of a mess in your environment. Could be that you have to clean house with friends. Like, it's really a very important week for you to sort things out, get to the bottom of things, and that will help you out of any kind of sense of overwhelm. But it's also a really rich week as well because there's lots of inspiration for those of you who are artistic. It's very inspiring week for art. All right, now let's take a look at Aquarius. So Aquarius, balancing act, also the perfect storm, the courage to step into life, and skywriting the fates. You have a lot of stuff coming up for you this week, Aquarius, that was what we call the meant to be. Wow, those kind of like moments in time where you go, well, that, I couldn't have planned that. And it's saying, step in. You can just step in. These epiphanies, these ideas, these wonderful opportunities that sometimes feel really uncomfortable actually takes you out of rigidity. But the dance is on one foot here. The balancing act of life. You're in this process. Why not jump in and realize that, okay, it's not all or nothing for me. It's not rigid. It's I can explore, I can innovate, I can have these new ideas it's like meeting yourself, meeting the fate of your life, meeting that blueprint, that moment where you know that cosmic blueprint dings and you're like, oh, I am meant to do this. That's what's going to bring you this week. So don't worry, you don't have to give up everything in order to do the next thing. Now let's take a look at Pisces. Preparations come to fruition, ego sublimation, and an initiation. And that really is the whole idea of the shaman archetype, is the idea that we are being initiated into something that enables us to change. And how does that work? Well, we have to let go the old self in order to dream a new world into being. But this says for the Pisces personality that you've done some of this spiritual work already. You already know what has to happen, that the idea of the vanishing mirror, which is, it's not about me, it's being nobody instead of me, I. It's like, oh, well, I wonder who I could be this week. And I wonder, would that be the self that I need to become? And how do I get initiated into that, stepping into that portal of awareness of something new coming for you that you've already set in motion is very tangible for you this week. Okay, well, that's it. This was the Astro Oracle reading for this week. Before we get going, I just want to remind you that my amazing course, Oracle Cards 101, the ultimate course to confidently read Oracle cards in just 5 minutes a day, over 30 days, is now available in my store. It's super exciting. You get a free copy of my Wisdom of the Oracle card deck. You get a library of meditations. And besides this course, woohoo, you get 6 whole hours of pre-recorded training videos with me that were live. Really good. You're going to want to watch those. The link is somewhere here, I don't know. And I'll see you next time. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I love to read them. And I'll see you next time. Take care.